Now, this is part 2. I hope you listen and watch part 1. Now, we left off, we read Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 16 through verse 21. And Yahweh said, the same Yahweh that came down in the cloud to talk to Moses, said when his people rebelled against him, when his children, he said when his sons, he was provoked by his sons and his daughters, and they rebelled against him. So he will hide his face. He will hide his face from them. Now we're going to go over to Isaiah chapter 64, and we're going to read verses 7 through verse 8. And Isaiah is talking, the prophet Isaiah. He says in verse 7, there is none that calleth upon thy name, that stirreth himself up to take hold of thee. For thou hast hid thy face from us, and has consumed us because of our iniquity. Verse 8, but now, O Yahweh, thou art our Father, and we are the clay, and thou art the potter, and we are the work of thy hand. Now let's stop right there. In Deuteronomy chapter 32, it said he was provoked by his sons and his daughters, and he hid his face from them. The same one who came down in the pillar of cloud at the tent of meeting to talk to Moses said when his people rebel against him and break his covenant, he will hide his face from them. In Deuteronomy 32, it says he was provoked by his sons and his daughters because they worship other gods. They provoked him to anger, and he hid his face from them. He was provoked by his sons and his daughters. Now we see Isaiah is saying the same thing. He's saying, you are God, you hid your face from us because of our iniquities. But surely you are our Father. Okay? You are our Father. Now let's go over to Psalms. Psalm chapter 68. Now we're going to put the nail in the coffin for you Trinitarians and for you Unitarians. We're going to find out who this person was who came down on Mount Sinai and who led the people out of Egypt in the pillar of cloud, and who came down on Mount Sinai, who said he was going to raise up the prophet. We know that it's the Father, because the Father, it said he raised up his son, Jesus Christ. So obviously, if you use your brain, it must be the Father, okay? But we're going to find out that the same one who came down on Mount Sinai is Jesus Christ. That is who it was. We're going to find out the day. Let us find out. We're going to find out that in the Old Testament, Jesus Christ was the Father. We're going to find that out today, my Trinitarian friends. Let's go. Psalms chapter 68, and we're about to find out. This is going to put the nail in the coffin. We're going to find out. Psalm chapter 68, verses 1 through verse 19. Okay? It said, let God, okay, arise. Let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melts before fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God. Sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name Yah. And rejoice before him. A father to the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in a dry land. O God, okay, O God, when thou wentest forth before thy people, when thou did march through the wilderness, Selah. It's talking about when you brought the people out of Egypt. The earth shook, The heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of God, the God of Israel. Thou, O God, didst send a plentiful rain whereby thou didst confirm thine inheritance. When it was weary, thy congregation has dwelt therein. Thou, O God, hast prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the pots, ye shall be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. Verse 14. And when the Almighty scattered kings in it, it was white as snow, as in Salmon. The hill of God is as the hill of Bashan, and high hill as the hill of Bashan. Why leap ye high hills? This is the hill which God desires to dwell. Yea, Yahweh will dwell in it forever. Verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is the Lord is among them, as in Sinai. Okay, Mount Sinai, in the holy place. Verse 18. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts for men, yea, for the rebellious also, that Yahweh God might dwell among them. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loads us with benefits, even the God of our salvation. Selah. Now it's still talking about God. It say, bless the one, extol the one who rides upon the cloud. He's a father to the fatherless. And it talks about him, his presence coming down on Mount Sinai. And then verse 18, it said, he ascended on high. And he led captivity captive. And he gave gifts to men. Now let's go to Ephesians chapter 4. We're going to finally find out who the Father is. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 8 through verse 10. Okay? And it says, wherefore he saith, this is Paul, he's getting ready to quote Psalm 68. It says, wherefore he saith, when he has ascended upon high, he led captivity captive and gave gift unto men. Okay, verse 9. Now that he ascended, it said, now that he is ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? Okay, he that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. Okay, that he might fill all things. Okay, and he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ. That is the reading of the word. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 8 through 12. Now, as we can see, the writer of Ephesians chapter 4 is he quoted a text from Psalm 68, and he's applying it to Jesus. Is the one who ascended, meaning he descended into the lower parts of the earth and ascended far above all the heavens. He led captivity captive and gave gift to men. This is about Christ. Now in Psalm 68, it was also about Christ, but it calls him God, a father to the fatherless, the one who rides on the clouds, the one who came down on Mount Sinai. His presence came down on Mount Sinai. We know the one who came down on Mount Sinai was the one who was in the cloud, in the thick cloud that came down. And also he's the same one that led the people out of Egypt in the pillar of cloud. He's the same one that gave Moses the song to write about him hiding his face from his people, from his children, his sons and his daughters, when they rebelled against him. And Israel is his children. And in Isaiah chapter 64, they call him, the one who hides his face from them, their father. Okay? Also, to recap, the same one who came down on Mount Sinai in this cloud, which we now know is Jesus, it's the same one who told Moses he would raise up a prophet. And that prophet, according to Acts chapter 3, it said he raised up his son Jesus. So now you must see, without a shadow of a doubt, Trinitarians, that the Old Testament God who came down upon Mount Sinai and gave Moses the law and said he would raise up a prophet is the father of Israel, but he's also the father of Jesus Christ, because that is that prophet that he raised up. Now, I'm Aunt Satch. I hope you learned something, my Trinitarians. Please let go of this Trinitarian doctrine. And my Unitarian friends, you must now see that Jesus is God. Okay, have a blessed day and blessed night.